Hi Aries, this is Amanda Nardizzi. Thanks for hopping into my little ferret den here. We're keeping it warm, keeping it cozy. We have a reading for you from May 6th to May 12th. So as always, drop into your heart space, let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you, which messages are for others. Also keep in mind for this week, there is a new moon in Taurus coming up on May 7th, so just keep on the lookout for there. I am starting to post astrological videos, so keep an eye out. I do more intuitive astrology. But in the meantime, let's dip into your energies and see what we have going on. What do we have for Aries Collective? I will thank my archangels, my spirit guides, my angel team. They're connecting me with energies that empower, uplift, straight from love, straight from source. Sorry, any noises that you hear in the background are my ferrets. Come out. Okay, so the focal point of your reading is the Two of Pentacles. Now, the Two of Pentacles, this is indicating needing to, here, let me move up so you can see the card a little bit. We're just gonna get all close and personal here. Okay, all right, so the Two of Pentacles, this is an issue of balance. This is an exchange of energy where it's almost like you and the environment. So it's almost like how much are you doing versus what the environment is giving you. And I'm hearing something about needing to be stable or wanting to be stable. So that being said, that's like the main focus here is like wanting to be stable or like needing to find more balance or juggling a lot of things. And like, it's almost like there are a lot of different things at play is what I'm hearing. You have the Two of Wands, another two here. You have Two of Wands and it is parallel with the Six of Swords. And it's almost like, I feel like you guys are like closing the chapter to something, Aries. It's like you are beginning anew. New moons are good for new beginnings. This new moon coming up, so any new moon is a great symbol or sign for a new beginning. It usually brings energy of change, and it's almost like Two of Wands is almost it's like an invitation from spirit. Where do you want to go? What is it that you want to do? We need your plans because you're on the out whether you want to be or not. Six of Swords is about change. It's about movement. It's about leaving something behind and going to the next thing. Some of you are ushered out. I keep getting like you're ushered out or like that you're being pushed out. For some of you, you're leaving by choice because it almost feels suffocating. You can't do it. It's just time to close the chapter in that book and you know that it's time to leave or to like walk away from it. But the Two of Wands is asking you to, again, like it is asking for like a bigger picture. So rather than focusing on like, I think there are two different ways you can handle this energy, Aries. It's like, oh, there's like why me? Why is this happening to me? But there's also the energy of, I understand that this really sucked, but it was for the better. And I'm moving on. So the Two of Wands asks you to zoom out of your situation and think in the grand scheme of things, how does this serve you? And it's almost like intuitively you can sense how it's serving you because you have the moon and you have the Knight of Pentacles parallel to it. But the interesting thing is they're drawing my attention to the moon first. The moon is there's like a paradox to the moon. There are it's like two sides of the same coin here. First of all, there's intuition. So I feel you having a very strong intuition of knowing what to do next. But on the other hand, the moon it can be like things that are looking very obscure. So needing to rely on your intuition, but having very little hints to go off of. When we have a lot of fears, when we have like basically when we are in the throes of change, sometimes our intuition is hard to hear because we have all these external factors swimming around and it's hard to zone in on, that because intuition is soft. It's not, sometimes intuition does hit you in the face like a ton of bricks and you're like, yeah, it's very obvious what I need to do. Other times though, intuition is like the soft, gentle caress of a pet's fur. Like, if that makes sense. Like, it is so subtle, it's almost not even there. It is there. You have to trust that it's there. And the more that you trust that it's there, the stronger it gets. That's what intuition is. So there's this understanding when it's crossed with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is an exploratory card. The Knights are always on a mission of some kind. So I feel like I'm hearing like you are justified closing the chapter to this. You are justified leaving this behind. You have very good reason to. I mean, if you are in a position where other people are like, yeah, they're absolutely crazy for making that move, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy, Aries. I think this feels almost very logical for your path. It's almost like I tell people all the time, content creation for me just feels logical. I know a lot of people think it's very outlandish. It's something that not a lot of people are able to achieve. And for whatever reason, there's this energy in me that's like, but it might seem outlandish to you, but to me, it almost feels like it's meant to be a part of my path. Whether it's a channel that gets very big or whether it's a channel that, stays small or like, it doesn't really matter. It's like, I know that it's something that I'm meant to do and I'm supposed to help people with it. And it's almost like it is easy for me because I know it's like, it's for you. And that's kind of the thing that I'm getting on this path is that other people might think, oh my gosh, like what kind of a crazy move was that? It does, or it's like they're questioning whether it makes sense, but it's almost like you have talents and seeds that can be tossed elsewhere, and like it's almost like there's fertile ground somewhere else. And you can't really grow or thrive in the situation that you found yourself in, which is fine. I feel like it served you at one point, you outgrew it, or I'm hearing like for some of you, it was a stopgap measure. Wherever you were just at was a stopgap measure, but now it's time to move on because it's almost like it almost feels like you're coming more into your own. Like this, just as a symbol, this is almost like you leaving a toxic work environment and maybe like starting your own business. Or this is like, they're also giving me the symbol of like, okay, this is very specific. Some of you could actually be very much like your father. I'm hearing like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So this might actually be following in like a parent's footsteps or a guardian before you. Or even just a game of follow the leader where you saw someone do it and you were like, oh gosh, or like whoever raised you like taught you that. But there's an energy of that in play of like having this cycle continue with you. But excuse me, it does feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, it feels more like you are intentionally tossing these seeds. You are intentionally throwing it out somewhere, if that makes sense. Because you like, and I feel like this rush of excitement with it too. There is some nervous energy here because it's like that shift. So like the middle of this deck almost feels like it's a shift. And this is the kind of the throes of change that you're in. It's either a shift or it's like needing to balance two different worlds here while you like transition to something more of your own. And again, it doesn't have to be related to career, but it does feel like a transition or a movement of some sort. And I don't know. I just feel like whatever moves you're making, whatever it is that you're creating, or whatever it is you're progressing towards, I'm hearing like you're making progress and you're doing a very good job. You're just following the intuitive movements of that. You also have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. When I tell you that the collective actually got this same card, I just did the collective reading. This card popped out. Y'all saw me shuffle. So I'm not crazy. This card came out twice. So if you felt called to look at the collective, maybe it has some messages for you, but that was like the main thing of stepping out of your comfort zone for that one. And this one is kind of saying something similar of step out of your comfort zone. What's being channeled through with this one is almost, especially with the North Node here, I feel like you are moving towards your North Star. This is a collective energy. This is something that a lot of people on many different levels are feeling. They might feel a little bit, they might feel it a lot. It does have a heavy presence in your reading of even if it's uncomfortable, change is uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. You can't stop change from being uncomfortable. It will always be uncomfortable because people are creatures of habit. We like the familiar. We like, doing anything daring. Like, I think it takes, I don't know, I think there are very few people in the world who, and that they exist, a lot of them want to try new things, they're adventurous, but if you're somebody who knows you're meant to grow and you're not used to being adventurous, and it would be a little scary, but there are very few souls I feel that are adventurous and spontaneous, but to the point of their whole life changing and having them be totally fine with it. There's always like this transitionary period, or there's always like this weird, like, energy around it. And I do feel, again, I do feel a sense of excitement. So anxiety and excitement are two sides of the same coin. It's just a difference in mindset, because they both produce the same physical reactions in the body. The heart rate speeds up, the face might get flushed, you know, you might get like the jitters a little bit, heart racing, all that stuff. And the same thing happens between nervousness and excitement. It's just, oh my gosh, like I don't want to do this, versus, oh my God, I'm so excited to do this. So sometimes you can trick yourself. It's one of those fake it till you make it. So you can trick yourself into, you know, taking next steps that you've been wanting to take or knowing that you should take, when it's stepping out of your comfort zone, even if it feels uncomfortable. But this is just so your emotions don't get the best of you. That's just some like, tool you can pop in your little toolkit. What else do we have going on here for you, Aries? Full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. So it's understanding that I'm hearing something about I'm stepping away for a while, but I'll be back. So some of you are just taking a break from whatever this is. For others of you, it's almost like something has reached a climax and you just need to step away. You need to take a break. You need to, like, I don't know, I'm hearing like you need to recharge. And you might be encountering things in your reality where you're sitting in that. You're taking that break and you're stepping back and you're sitting in something that feels uncomfortable because something needs to change. And for some of you, that change that you need to make is the reality check. For others of you, you are making a change and then you're getting a reality check and thinking and saying like, okay, well, I can't stay here forever. I do see a lot of you moving on. You're moving on. You're not like going back to where you once were, but it's almost like you are moving on to something better. And it's like you're setting your sights higher. But again, it's like you're in the middle of a transition. So it's like you're taking a reality check and recognizing, well, I can't stay stagnant in this transition. I need to move. Or it's recognizing that you might, like, the things that you wanted, it's almost like some of you are like reassessing what it is that you want or what it is you're looking for, like what it is you're expecting this next cycle to look like. Sorry, the energy is like a little wonky, so I'm like tripping over my words because I'm trying to figure out, like, this is a very interesting energy because it's like, I'm not going to say like I'm talking to someone who doesn't know what they want, because that's not the case here, Aries. Like, if you know what you want, you know what you're after, but it's almost like you don't know what this next phase, you don't know that form that it's going to take. You don't know exactly down to the details what it's supposed to look like or what it's going to look like or what it can look like. And I'm getting that you might have dreams, but this is where this Two of Wands comes through as saying, like, it does look at the bigger picture and it's needing to look at the bigger picture of figuring out where to go. But the Two of Wands is also about needing to come up with your next moves. And when it's time for your reality check, when you're actively taking steps towards your next phase, it's almost like you need to get clear about the steps, the physical steps. You have the Two of Wands idea that's kind of promoting this shift. It's promoting the Six of Swords movement. That's why they're parallel together. You had this idea, you're going to pursue something else. But it's almost like Spirit's like, okay, well, now you have to be specific. Now you have to figure out the concrete steps to get there. So that's kind of the reality check that you'll be going through, because full moon in Capricorn, the full moon is that climax, it's heightened emotions. You might actually be experiencing like increased anxiety around this time, especially if it is like a career transition or some type of relationship transition. This could be like coming out of a relationship and being single. This could be a career thing of like switching like career, or it's almost like I'm getting for some of you, you're just switching up positions a little bit. So you might actually be just changing positions at work or getting a promotion or something. But Capricorn is the work ethic like sign. This is the discipline. This is like supercharged with like, you know, work is typically what I associate Capricorn with. Very stable. Just, I do feel like stability is called into question throughout most of this reading. And it's just a matter of, you know, taking moves or making moves to make yourself feel a little bit more stable. So, that being said, we'll check in and see what else is going on. We have direction Cardian, choose your path. That's literally, y'all just heard me. I said it. Like, it's just needing to pick a path. A lot of you might have different options presented to you, and it's just a matter of picking one. There's no right or wrong. This is what that Knight of Pentacles is. The Knight is exploring. So you might have many different fields that you can look at. Just dive into a field and see what happens. There's no choosing wrong, because then you learn what it is that works for you and then what doesn't work for you. And what the most important thing is, like, to know is that you're not going to have all the information until you try. So that's the important thing to keep in mind with the Direction Guardian. You also have the Wall, obstacles. So I'm hearing, like, treat this like any other obstacle you've had before. So for a lot of you, it literally is just, how would you deal with this? You know, do you go into immediate fixing mode? Do you try to come up with all these different solutions? Do you try working around the mountain? Do you try digging through the mountain? Do you try climbing over the mountain? Do you try, you know, climbing under, like, or like digging through, like, underneath the mountain somehow, like digging underneath the core of the earth and like making mine shaft tunnels? Like, I don't know. I'm getting lots of different creative ways to go about these obstacles. But Spirit is like, okay, well, if you're feeling stagnant or if you're not sure how to move forward, they are calling into question. You know, they want you to think about how you've handled things before, and notice which trends have served you, which trends did not. Notice any cycles that are taking place so you don't fall into those same cycles and, you know, get stuck in the same situation where you're in a phase that you don't like, or you're in a time in your life where you're like, ugh, like, you know, trying to fight to leave or try to change it, you know. So that being said, we're gonna roll some dice and see if there's anything else we can get for you here, Aries. We have 814. I'm pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. Your angels will be a bigger part of your journey moving forward. Know that there is a higher purpose in your sharing angel light with the world. One more time, your angels will be a bigger part of your journey moving forward. Know that there is a higher purpose in you sharing angel light with the world. Okay, so just trust that this is all coming together so that you can spread your light for the collective. And that also, it feels like wherever you're going feels more fulfilling. That's the whole point with this North Node, stepping out of your comfort zone because you're heading towards your North Star. There's a reason it's called North Node, and it's because we are working towards it. You know, we're working towards it, and you know, our main purpose in life. Our main purpose in life, I don't feel like is supposed to be easy. For a lot of us, for some of us, it's a little bit more accessible, but for some of us, it's not. For a lot of us, it's not easy to get to. So that being said, this is just one of many steps, but a very good step worth taking. So I see you taking it anyway, because again, Six of Swords, you're on the move anyway. You're deciding to be on the move, and you're already, you know, throwing out your ideas, planting your seeds. It's just a matter of like choosing which garden to throw your seeds in. Not everything seems perfect, not everything seems ideal. Just pick the one your heart sings to the most and then go from there. And then if it's not meant for you, then it's gonna stop feeling right at some point, and you're gonna learn, and then you're not gonna choose that again. So that's just the important thing about exploring, is offering yourself grace and recognizing that it's okay to choose quote unquote wrong. It's okay to choose something that's like, oh, that doesn't fit. Then just choose something else. That being said, Aries, I hope that helped. If this resonated in any way, go ahead, like and subscribe and all the things. That way we can keep up to date with what I'm doing. I post weeklies and collectives. If you wanted to learn tarot, I'm over on Instagram, and I post about each individual card and talk about the different things that are channeled through. So if you want to learn tarot, go check that out. I also offer personal readings. It's down in the link in the description. So my website has a list of the services that I offer and such. That being said, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.